Yo guys, welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be learning how you can qualify for the Squad Victory Cup and then go and earn in finals. So first of all, I want to talk about the off-spawn situation in squads. And in my opinion, for you guys, especially the passive players out there, you're going to find it way more beneficial because obviously there's 20 teams only per game. So there's going to be a lot of unclaimed space. As we can see here, Burns Manor, you've got this gas station split, all the houses up here, sort of mid-map split, and the tire split down here as well, all uncontested. And then a lot of teams have also got whole POIs to themselves as well, so sort of like nuclear power plant. This makes scout drop-in very effective, whereas if you've done it in solos where there's 80 players, literally nearly everything is taken, and if you're trying to scout drop, you're just going to get a late landing and obviously not get priority for that loot, so it kind of doesn't work as well. But in squads, you obviously know there's going to be a lot of unclaimed sort of locations, so it works very well to know where everyone else is going and you just take what's not looted. You can just use the strat where you look out the back of the bus and see when people are dropping to know where to land, or if you know a particular part of the map where you know sort of like the rotates and stuff and you would just want to land there instead, say like bottom right, you would just like have a high glide for bottom right and then you would just see what's untaken. So in this case you would see there's a team here and a team here, so you would just take Burns Manor instead. So say this is your first game, what do? You obviously, in this game, this is the best time to W key because the lobbies aren't as good. You obviously don't want to be doing this in higher elo as the players are better and there's more chance you're going to die. So we're just going to be analyzing sort of first game sort of fighting strats to see how you can sort of get easy eliminations rather than just drawn out fights. Very simple to start off. All they do is this guy here is proper split from his team. His team is all the way over in Camp Krusty, and then a whole squad jumps on him and they're able to clean him up very quickly. Obviously it's a 1v4, so that fight is going to be very quick. So if you see any sort of stragglers in squads, literally just jump on them straight away and it's an easy elimination. And then obviously if they wanted to, now they've not only got this kill, but they can go and fight the other three as well and have the advantage. Are you even analyzing fighting if you're not looking at some pinching examples? I don't think so. Sorry, for those who don't know what pinching is, it's basically where you pressure your opponents from opposite sides. Obviously this is going to be very strong in squads because you can basically get 4 different angles on your opponents, which is going to apply insane pressure. So Tino has basically taken their ruse from up here, and as we can see, Pablo is all the way around the sides and is actually pressuring them. So as they try and go out here, Pablo's already there, so that sort of forces them back. And then this guy's just in pure panic. He's cracked, and now he just get cracked, sprayed through the ramp as well. So then he actually tries to run back, but then as you know, Tino's already there, and then he goes down. They need to get to Storm, and they're being held by a big surge base. So all they're doing, they're just going to use all their wood to basically tarp in. So if everyone is cap wood on your team, you basically have 2,000 wood, and you can obviously refarm as well, stop at trees and do the Tarzan strat. It's basically where you keep tarping with wood and then you just stop on a tree and refarm and then go again. So literally tarping all the way in, taking no risks. You obviously don't want to waste shield at this point. You've obviously got more mats than you have shields because you're not going to get that back, and then they get all the way in for free. So definitely in squads, guys, you can definitely just literally build all the way into zones, and that's the safest way to sort of play. And also another very nice play here where you're a whole squad of four players all shooting with spray weapons. You can chop stuff very quickly as well. So as you can see, there's a fully built sort of like square here, but they're able to chop it instantly and they're unlucky not to kill this guy. So something you'll also notice in a lot of these pro games is they're smart and they know what sort of heals to carry as well. So in squads, you want to utilize team heals, obviously, as they're going to give the biggest benefit. So as you can see, Lunex is carrying a max stack of chugs, and so is Marius. So effectively in solos, chugs aren't that effective because they only give you 120 total shields or health, whereas in squads you're basically timesing that by 4, which is going to be 480 total health. So they're way more effective. The bigger the game mode, the more sort of team heals you want to carry. But later in the end game, you can see they're basically shambles, their backside, and they have no mats. But I just want to talk about the importance. Obviously, it's always important to stick together in endgame, even if it's like duos or whatever. But in squads, it's even more important because even if you are shambles, like they're all the way backside, they could get held by like Chap and stuff like that. But if you're literally glued together like these guys are, 4 people just like all running at you, like spraying in, even if you have all the edits on them, it's going to be very easy for you to just get a refresh and get out of the bad situation, right? So like this guy here can't really do anything where a whole squad's just in his box straight away and he gets eliminated. So we talked about pinching earlier, and in endgame it's even more effective because opponents, obviously the zone's smaller and they don't have as much mats, so they can't just build like a massive base and sort of make space and protect themselves. So as we can see, Vidil and his team are only in this box here, and then what this means is Tino and his squad are able to pinch them. So we have Tino back here behind the top, we have Marius in front, and we have Lunex from above as well, and then we have Pablo. Pablo isn't actually helping, he's just maintaining height at this point. But yeah, 3 people, 3 different angles, and Vidil only has 2 boxes, so it makes them very hard to sort of find a way out of that position. Because of these refreshes they're able to basically maintain height and then kill everyone else in the game and go on to win the game, and this actually resulted in them winning the opens. But now we're going to be going over to my 18 kill win in the Squad Cup. I think you guys always prefer sort of watching players on your skill level, which I'm going to be more relatable to most of you guys, right, rather than watching one of the best pro squads. And also because it was me playing and I'm at IGL, I can talk you through the decisions and what I was thinking at the time. Here we're landing Steamy. I like Steamy because there's a lot of metal. Obviously you got the stacks for far rotates as well. So we see we're contested and we're actually pinning everything to know where we want to land. So we kind of figured out that this building here isn't that great on loot. A lot of people try and claim this because it's like the highest point, but if a whole squad lands there, there's not actually much loot. So here the angle I'm approaching from is important as well. I know they're focused, if you can see, they're looking over here. My teammates are over to the left, but I've come all the way around to the right because I can basically get a position behind them. And then as you can see, I get a bit of a beam here. It's quite unlucky that guy fell off as soon as I made my way around. So then I'm actually just going up, getting high ground, see if I can see these guys from above, which unfortunately they just end up boxing out. I get some tags on this guy here, and then we see they're still shielded, so we know they're not completely shambles. So at this point we're just taking it slow, like I said earlier, and just waiting for the opportunity before we can up the fighting tempo. So here again, what I'm going to do now is wrap all the way around to the right, and then again I get a crack there. So at this point we're starting to up the tempo. So as you can see, we're now starting to box fight them because they're all low HP, so we're just getting on their walls basically. So here, this is all their builds, so I'm being very cautious. Obviously if there's a whole squad there, they can instantly just run out on me, so I'm making sure I'm not directly on the walls. I can see this guy was doing exactly that and lurking, so I'm just literally holding my shotgun out, waiting for him to edit. Unfortunately he doesn't and goes back into the builds. Meanwhile, my teammates are basically doing the same thing, just attacking from different angles, and as you can see here, I'm going to help my teammate. One comes up and then they go into this box here, and all I need to do now is just take the wall and we get 2 down. At the end of that fight, we then heard more shots down here, so I said let's go and push that as well, because obviously down this side of the map, if they're fighting here, we're going to have way better loot and they're going to be more shambles. Obviously you could see me getting closer here. I had a shot up there, but what I want to do is obviously get closer to them so we have more chance of actually killing one. If you're beaming from that far, it's a high chance we don't actually kill one. So what we're doing here is just sneaking down. So as you can see, we get some shots. This guy's basically cracked, and then we actually end up getting knocked. So me and my teammate make a decision here. Obviously they can res very fast if all 3 of them do a triple res. So me and my teammate decide to invest into one of the fish. Obviously we could have saved this for endgame, but there's a high chance there's fishing spots here and stuff that they had fish anyway, so we just invest 1 each, get over before they can make the res, get the full kill, so my teammate gets siphon. And then as you can see, these players aren't great, so I get on this pinch here just in case my teammate didn't kill him and get behind the wall, and then it's just a job then. We're just taking it a bit slow. As you can see, I'm very cautious. There's one left, although he's not going to like kill us all. We don't want to take unnecessary damage here, so we're just playing it very slow, and then we finally find him, and then we all just jump on him for an easy kill. From there I basically make the decision to keep keying because I've noticed in the first 2 fights that the lobbies we're in aren't really great, so we must be in a low elo lobby, so we should definitely take advantage and try and get as many kills as possible. Obviously that ended up happening with the 18 kill win. As we go back into Steamy, we spot a team has basically slowly gone in there whilst we're out the POI and tried to scrap loot, so we know they're shambles and they've instantly ran, so we know they're not great players, right? So we know here they went in this direction and we see them 3 players here, and then as I'm gliding over here, visual audio OP, I literally hear this guy move in the van, so I know there's a player here. And then as I go down, I obviously see his gun and stuff. But look how I just wait for my teammates. Like, there's no point me just like jumping in here, going for the kill. I simply just wait for my teammates all to get to me and then start being aggressive. Obviously, I could have died there, his team could have come back, and then it'd have been an awkward situation. So I just wait a few seconds and we're able to get a nice kill. Is they just make loads and loads of space. So we know they're a pretty decent team, but also this fight would drag on for so long. We don't want to get third partied or anything like that. So I just make the call. I just tell everyone to disengage. I obviously got hit in the back there, but I'm also telling everyone else just to basically just use their woods just to get away. We don't want to get beamed in the back, and then that team then pushes us. My teammate's actually in a bit of an awkward spot here. He sort of went the other way and now he's above them. So I'm basically just looking back for him, just spraying their builds, making sure they don't peek and edit on him. So now there's a lot of teams in Steamy that we could fight, but I basically want to stay as stacked as possible for endgame. Like, we're all basically cap loot and cap mats, so we're basically just going into this dead side here, and that ends up working very well because then we get this zone pull here and we take this full sort of like dead side rotate. And because we went early and basically got in before everyone else, we knew there'd be kids rotating behind us, so I tell everyone to look back, and there is actually 2 people here that we're able to go on and kill. I made sure everyone stacks loot, so we're always sort of like in the early and mid game calling out what loot we've got. So for example, if I call out I've got 2 of these rotation fish and I find out one of my teammates has 1, I'll get him to drop that to me and basically take something else. And then when we actually want to use the rotation, all I do is just throw it down to my teammates and we sort of take 3 each and then rotate. It's just a way easier way. Instead of all carrying like 1 each, you're just wasting slots where you could have been carrying shield, right? We're all able to pop them individually, and then basically we need to build up here, not go too close to the mountain because that's how you end up getting stuck against mountains and end up dying. So we sort of build away from the mountain and then just dash up, and then as you see, we're able to get a nice position on front side. So like I said earlier, you basically have loads of mats in squads, so I'm basically full tarp in zones and basically getting my teammates to drop me their mats. I then basically do the simple sort of fundamental. I know we're sort of second height on a high layer, so all I do then, as soon as we're front side and can chill for a second, I just look up at height. And like I said earlier, if a full squad starts shooting up, it's going to go be down very instantly. So as you can see, these guys end up dipping down, and now we've got high ground for the rest of the game. We're still a bit cautious because these guys have obviously got the balloon gun and it's very easy for them to take it back off us, so we kind of remember what skins they were wearing and try and focus them. So because of the balloon threat, I've actually come up with the idea of being double layered here. 2 of us are on a lower layer because if you don't know the balloon, you can basically just shoot up. Your first shot basically doesn't have to be impact and can go through builds. So all you have to do is the player just has to shoot the bottom of this tile and me and my teammate would go flying up. But I've basically told my teammates to be a level higher than us, basically be double layered. Although it's not great for mats, that means that only we're going to get shot off and then my teammates are still going to be fine on the higher layer. If I was straight over these guys, I'm going to have an awkward job looking down, but now I can sort of use a right hand peek on these builds to look down. And then also at this point, I've still got a P90, so I was basically spraying the whole time whilst telling my teammates I know they would have a lot of SMG ammo because they were carrying ARs. So I was basically using all my ammo and then telling them to drop me more. And it's just sort of like infinite pressure on the people down below. Get in front of zone, actually take a bit of zone damage here to basically catch the guy off guard, get in front of him and pump him there. The last guy is basically just playing Storm. So we know he's gone in too early. So all we have to do here is just basically stay in zone for as long as possible because he's not going to have enough whites to out heal us here. He's going to get Storm sickness quite quickly. We're then going to run out because we haven't got whites ourselves. We're going to go and find him. And we also want the Elim point, right? If he was just a dying Storm, we're not going to get the extra 2 points. So I basically run into Storm and luckily he's ran out of meds. So now he's coming towards me. I get the pump on him, but there's no need to sort of overcommit here. So I literally just build because I know I've pumped him and he's going to die. And then I just let him die and we go and win the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to qualify for the solo cup in a few days, then definitely watch this video. And if you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe and also turn on notifications as I've got way more content coming.